Houston, we have a shit show. Hey everyone, Brento here. Welcome back to Dump City. We're in Houston. As you can see, we got a pile of shit in front of us, and this is a shit show. This episode is a little different. I know in a lot of them we try to build things quickly. We talk about crazy topics. Well, that part's going to be similar to other episodes, but this episode we're going to try to do nothing at all. The objective is to not change Houston. As you can see here, we have Houston, the city, outside of our Soviet Los Angeles. We haven't really looked at it in a while. Nothing much has happened here. So yeah, the objective is to do nothing here. That's the goal of this episode. But you're probably thinking, why would I watch this episode if we're going to do nothing in Houston? Well, there's other things happening in the world, and I'll show you those things. And while I tell you what's going to happen in the show today, I want to give you a little bit of a background scene here. This is our construction office. As you know, we build everything with our Sims out of this main construction yard, but it has a bit of a problem right now. It needs to be reconstructed, and you can't assign itself to fix itself. We'll see if this can reconstruct itself while I'm telling you what's in the show today, just for something to watch. See if I go bankrupt while I'm talking about the topics in today's show. Quite an insane assortment of topics. Metro blueprints. I built a metro system in the game, right? I think we're going to commit to some final design, so I'll show you that in the proposed communist LA here. Plans to shut down a coal plant. I've come to realize it's causing a bit of pollution. Unrelated game stuff, we're going to talk about an idea for a horror movie I have. I thought I'd share it with you. It's just an interesting idea. I'm going to share with you the Global Parking Index, top 5 most expensive cities in the world to park your car in, corrected for local inflation rates. So purchasing power parity considered. I'm going to show you the first home built in Dump City. We're going to do that. That actually is a challenge. We are going to build something in this episode. And a new idea to combat security issues in the future. You know, there's fake police cars. There's been some of them going around lately, and it's not covered much in the news till you hear of the incidents, like, you know, in Minnesota and Nova Scotia had a famous incident of that. So these are just some of the topics in the show. I have a bunch of other random things to discuss. I am a little concerned that my mic's a bit loud here, so it's showing like it's going into the red a bit more than it normally does. I'll take a chance. Maybe I'll adjust the audio and edits later, but it does seem a little bit loud. So let's have a look at our world here. As you can see, we're doing the renovations here. Couldn't finish it during the description of the show. We have a big problem here, okay? There's a reason why I introduced the show the way I did. It's because we are running out of money. I decided to buy a few more things between episode and US dollars. Now look at our borrowing power. 334,000. That's game over. So I'm going to be honest, I don't know how much longer this series is going to go for. If we last 10 episodes, that'd be great. We're either going to go bankrupt before then, or, you know, if I can get 2 million in borrowing power, I'll consider that a win at this point. 20,000 population and 2 million in borrowing power. That would be sort of the challenge here. I don't know if we're going to do it. I don't even know if this mic's too loud. It just seems like the gain might be. Maybe I can adjust. Should I play with it a bit here? Take a chance. See if it goes down a bit. Does this make it quieter? How's this? Is this too loud now? I don't know. It's probably doing nothing. You never know what this Logitech. They've been driving me crazy lately. I won't go into it again. I have a rant that I did between episodes while I was testing it that I might clip and let you know what they did. But they just changed settings on me, so yeah, what can I do about that, right? Updates just change the way your microphone works. That's how they treat people and non-celebrities. Well, I am a celebrity, they just don't know it, but now other people know what they do, right? Because I'm telling them. Oh, it could have been Microsoft. Someone screwed up. It was just an update somewhere where the microphone. So I'm assuming the microphone is okay sounding right now. Something I want to do in this episode too is I want to improve our economy. As you can see, our purchasing power is quite low. So we need to do things to sell things, right? So should we sell cement to the customs house? This cement plant? Should we buy a cement truck and sell it? I'll let you know what my plans are on that. One other thing I've done here between episodes is, because we are in a bit of financial difficulty here, I've decided to up the amount of things we're selling here. So I've added a few more worker jobs here. Right now we have, they say 37 people have no workspace, but I just opened up a bunch of spots, and now see, the vehicles aren't even hauling it away, even though they're supposed to be. See, I don't get this. Look at that. They're just slow. We don't have enough of these open haul trucks, and we don't have enough money to buy more. Well, you know what? I'm a little concerned here. That's crazy that it couldn't pick that up. Maybe at 50% it should start picking it up. But we've got to sell things here. Let's see if we can get one in rubles here. You know what? I don't want to be doing this, but I don't really have a choice. We need to sell this for US dollars because we are in some trouble here. Let's get this one here. That's a good one. And I want to show you a few other things here. Let's just go over what's happened between episodes. I've expanded Dump City. I haven't built any of this, so this isn't why I've gone further in debt. This is just blueprinted. What's caused the debt issues is a few things I've done over here, but this is just sort of the planning of the next few episodes of what we're going to try to build. You know, we're going to have hopefully some plastic recycling with Smells Good Plastic here, ASMR Semiconductor, and Dumpo Vision. If everything goes to plan, in the next few weeks we'll expand into these zones and continue to grow our industry. I really hope the mic's not too loud. I haven't had an issue with too loud mic in an episode yet, but I'm sitting a little bit further back than normal and tilted it a certain way, so it shouldn't be too loud, hopefully. But this is sort of what we're going to do in the next few episodes. We're going to continue to develop Dump City. Here, let's start our episodes challenge right away. This is Disease Research Facility. I want to build this house. We'll do this. We're gonna get all the local, see who gets here first. This is a really easy project, but we're gonna see if anyone moves in it. This is experiment 1. So in the last final stretch of the series, we're gonna conduct some experiments in Dump City. And one of them is to see what the minimum standards are for someone to move into a house. So we're not gonna get any citizens, but initially we'll just allow anyone of any loyalty, education, or whatever to move in here. Just because, you know, I assume without any services or any job or any way of getting there, no one's going to move in here. We'll keep an eye on that. So that's one of the things we got to watch for in this episode. That's a fairly easy construction project. Again, I don't want to spend much money. Okay, we're supposed to be selling these prefab panels at the prefab panel factory to Canada here, and I don't know what these trucks are doing. It's the highest priority pickup, and they won't go here. Like, are we building them that fast? Maybe we have too many jobs. I just ramped this up recently. Let's maybe make it a little bit more sensible. Let's go at 20. The trucks just can't keep up. Let's grab one more. You know what? This is lost money, right? This is lost money. So, and this is such a good one. We're going to have to replace these older ones soon anyways. We've been sending a lot of our trucks to the scrap yards. So in the last episode, I think we scrapped one, but I think every month or so we're getting something scrapped here. So we'll be getting some resources out of that too. Let's have a look here at what else has happened between episodes here. I made a bit of a mistake. This is partly why I'm in financial difficulties. I probably shouldn't have built this apartment building. Because when I built it, I thought they would be able to reach the mall from here, but they can't. They can't even reach the church from here. So this is just going to be unhappy people. There's less pollution here, but I really should have built something a little closer just in this area here. Like these ones here, they're 78% happy in this building. I should have built a couple more. That was a bad decision. Hopefully the entire nation doesn't collapse because of it. We'll ease up our spending for a bit. We're really You see what's happening here? They're building fast here. I just had too many workers there. I want to show you what we're the planned subway system. I spent quite a bit of time between episodes. In an earlier one, if you recall, we planned on making a big loop around this whole area with, you know, San Francisco and Dump City and Los Angeles sort of enveloped by it. But I decided in the end to make a branch here because I don't think we want too many people in this zone. I didn't know how pollution affected population when I started this series. I didn't realize how big a deal it was. So this is kind of our cleanest area here. So this is where residential development is going to continue. So I'm going to show you the planned subway system here. So this is going to get built, right? Problem I was having is that you can't really fork routes in a subway below ground. So I had to do it above ground right here. So there'll be one line that goes to the originally planned line and another one that goes this way over here. If you go underground, you can see how this looks. See this? Look at this. All the way here. Another stop here where we make clothing and whatnot. Got a couple of, you know, stairs to go out of it. Pretty cool. This took a lot. This took hours to build. Just to get like through the pipes and everything. This was quite a bit of work. And then it will get out here in our heavily residential area, assuming we don't go bankrupt first. You got some new apartment buildings being planned here. And then it will continue to this zone here where we'll probably build a television station and have an above ground sort of switching spot. So that's sort of the planned metro system. Man, when I'm talking, sometimes the microphone pins completely red, but I don't get it. Like I haven't changed the gain. I'm going to keep sitting further and further back. This is how I'm going to adjust the audio on this one here. Sit further and further away from the microphone so it's not overly loud. We'll see. We got to keep the show interesting, right? Houston here, nothing's changed here in years. However, we're still building our rail lines here. You'll notice they've really gotten our China connection is now expanding well into Houston. This doesn't count though. This is China's business development, nothing to do with Houston. They mind your own business, Houston. But they're also connecting into Dump City. See, my concern was if we went bankrupt in US dollars, that we would be able to switch over to ruble purchasing via this rail network sooner. But this is so far away that I don't know, it's going to be at least one episode before we're connected here. But they're still working hard here. One other thing I did too was between episodes, I was thinking of another experiment here. I know San Francisco's been long abandoned. In this series, we're not going to do any building. However, I did start building some bus stations here because I noticed there's like every house or so, you'll find a person living in it. And I was wondering if they would ever get on a bus stop and maybe go to work in Houston. So that's a little experiment we're going to do during the episode to see if we can get some of these. We have one bus stop here. Look at that, there's 4 workers waiting. I should probably set up a route to pick them up. But we need to finish our gravel roads here for the buses to be able to go through. It's a bit of an experiment to see if we can add more workforce to our Houston factories. And as you know, Houston has 2 main industries. We have oil, right? We have this oil pump. And we have these crops that go into livestock farms. Basically, we sell cows. That's what we do here in Houston. And there's no plans to change this. But we will maybe send some workers over. Let's check out what happened with our research just now. The BAT research facility, research population growth. We did gain some population. We're up to 13,000. Probably about what we started off when we spawned the world. So we finally got to a situation where we've recovered a little bit, but money's pretty bad right now. Yeah, while I am sort of waiting for these things to fix themselves up, yeah, look at this. Let's keep an eye on this. I'm going to tell you a random idea. As I get older, I want to explore in the world. And One of the things I've wanted to explore is, or one of the places is South America. And there's a city in South America called Iquitos with no roads connected to it. And it's a city of 500,000 people. I find that fascinating. It's in the jungle, and I want to drive there someday. That's completely isolated from the rest of the world, basically. You can't even drive there. This isn't just like a remote little village. 500,000 people live in this a city called Iquitos, Peru. And it was just something that I want to, as a goal, drive there someday. Don't go look it up. Watch the rest of the show right now. Obviously, you're not supposed to look up on Google Maps such things like a city of 500,000 people that has no roads into it. That would be crazy, right? Continue watching the show, but afterwards, look it up. And I want to drive there someday. Oh, my mic, it's still like every now and then it pins red. I'm 2 feet further back from the mic than normal right now. I'm starting to do edits now, so it's not a big deal. I can always lower the gain on it a bit, I guess. So how are they doing here? It gets to full, and then does a truck arrive on time? It's supposed to leave to pick up this prefab and sell it for money, but it's not doing that. Like, how many of these do we need? We got so many. You know what? Let's stop picking up bricks. I think bricks are not a good thing to sell. I think they might be picking those up. And how are we doing for lumber here? Yeah, we shouldn't be picking up bricks. Let's not pick up lumber either. Maybe they should build the prefab too fast. We have a lot of supplies though. We got big stockpiles of gravel in this world, so we're doing good that way. Another thing I want to talk about in the show is, did you know that Windows 10 is going to end support in 2025? So you're probably watching this. There's a high probably you're watching it after they ended support. You know what that means, right? They're going to hire a team of hackers to probably take advantage of your machine, right? That's probably what they'll do. That's just my guess, because we know why, right? You got to sell stuff, and that's how most antiviruses work, right? They also employ the most hackers. That's sort of how it works. That's how capitalism works, right? I think we've established that over the series, that they have the clout and the money to begin with to sort of insist on demand, induce demand, so to speak. I shouldn't say that. I don't think they'll try to do that, but I'm going to guess there'll be lots of problems. By the time this is getting more and more popular, taxes are much higher on the wealthy. Many big corporations have been nationalized, i.e., the corporations that don't innovate too much, where they just provide necessities. Like, we all need an operating system, we all need phones, we all need, heat, we all need electricity, we all need food. All this stuff should be nationalized. This is not free market stuff, okay? Obviously, private interests who control the media, who tell you this is thievery. Meanwhile, they will live forever basically off your tax dollars, because they'd rather have unnecessary wealth they can't even use. You need to remain a slave. So as such, a lot of these companies won't get nationalized, but maybe they will. Maybe this show will get enough traction that we've run enough simulations to show that nationalizing companies can work. Look at that. See, I'm making some money in the show. My borrowing power is already going up just with a few simple things, because you don't need these so-called elites to tell us how to make money. I think that would be a great company to nationalize. We still need operating systems, but we just don't need this idea of ending support, okay? If we end support, give us a replacement that works just as well, right? Don't make all the machinery obsolete, because you got to create artificial demand for more electronics, because my older machine here can't run the newer operating system, right? That would seem suspicious. That would seem like oligarch thievery, right? Where they force you to buy new stuff even though your old stuff's not broken yet, because they break it by making the software incompatible. So hopefully Microsoft's nationalized, or Bill Gates himself's doing some stuff, but Bill Gates and the company itself, I don't know how much influence he has over it anymore. It could be all purely shareholder driven at this point. And that's not a good thing either. Again, that's free money. Asking for profits off your investments is asking for free money because you are rich. That's not good. We cannot motivate a society to do that. And if you get nothing for your investment, you deserve nothing because you didn't do anything. It's that simple. Do you understand that? You didn't do anything. You had the money. Spend it. The money is the reward. The money that you had to invest was the reward. You're not going to get further reward on that. That's insane, right? The US isn't bad economic conditions right now. It's going to run out of money again soon. And that might not have any choice but to start expropriating some of these companies as assets to improve the financial situation. It just seems like there's always something going wrong. Tree falls down. I had my neighbor before the show just said there's a tree that fell down between our property. Look at that. We've got our construction office is upgraded here. Oh no, it says it's in progress. Let's check that progress out again. Yeah, it's weird. I'm sitting way back here because I'm a little concerned the microphone gain is a little high. We're getting close to almost rebuilt here. How are we doing here? Are we continually... Okay, it's not pinned anymore. I think 30 workers was a bit much. Just a bit much. Okay, we're going to do our cement RS business. Is this a good business idea for the game? Should we do it? Let's see. Let's check out the price of cement. So we can make cement. We can have 30 workers here, but we have so much cement. We should sell some of it. Let's see what the price for cement is. Oh, 78.58. That's not bad. Maybe we should buy a cement truck. Yeah, let's do it though. Let's buy one cement truck. Let's see if we can get a used one for Cement RS. I hope the microphone's not too loud here. It's really, really troubling. No, they don't sell any. What are prices of... Okay, we definitely can't buy anything in US dollars, even if it's used. But let's see what we got here for cement trucks. What do they cost? Oh, dry bulk tank. Is that what it is? Oh, there we go. Never mind. Never mind. What's the highest speed one we got here? Wow, these are expensive though. 9.4 tons, 15 tons. Let's go 88. Ooh, 95. I think we got to get one of these. Let's make some money off that. And we'll add a new destination, the cement factory, and we will sell cement. Here we go. Unload cement. Where's the cement unload? Oh, we got to get, it has to arrive here first. We'll do that in a bit, I guess. Let's borrow a bit more money here as we progress through the show. Oh, the microphone, again, I'm going to keep standing way back here. I don't want the audio to be disruptively loud. It's supposed to be a sleep aid show too, right? A little disorganized with the show. Again, yes, someone just came to my door right before I hit record and said, yeah, a tree fell down, like right beside your house. So I'm like, okay. It's like, I got to process that a little bit and process the abnormal gain on my mic here. It's also, I haven't done a show, and this is 12 days between recording. This is the longest span I've done. So I might be a little bit rusty. We'll see how this episode goes. You know, I'm doing a ton of editing right now, so we can always trim it down. That's the nice thing about learning how to edit, L2 edit, is you can take out the bad parts, you can audio fix, and it's a lot of work. It's better not to have to edit. Nonetheless, we will have a good show one way or another, whether I have to edit the crap out of it or not. Let's check out what's going on over here. Are we building some bus stops here? Okay, yes, we got some road here. Ooh, this one must be high priority, high priority. Ooh, why isn't China working on this one? So we're going to set up a little bus route here. And I made 3 bus stations. Oh, and we have a little bit of work to do here. Let's see how these are doing. Actually, we could start doing this right now. I'm going to change up a few things here. How are we doing for workers? Yep. Okay, so these cars go really fast, but they're just going like a short distance and kind of, we're wasting their speed ability. Oh my god, this car's so old though. I gotta scrap it soon, but let's just run it into the ground first. So let's set up our route here. We'll park this here. And then we're going to set a route where it picks up workers. What would be the first one to pick up? Let's go here first. First stop. I'll add another route once that other best station's done. And we won't even name, actually we'll name this one. And then it goes here. We'll get a few more workers to go to, I think they can go here. They can get into the workspaces from here. Let's go to this one here. And then we'll go to the end station to sequence the timing. And let's do that. And then we'll have a look at this route here. What's it called? Okay, so there we go. 2 bus stops, Houston platform. And we'll call this San Fran Workers. This is our trial run. Trial run. Let's see how this car does. Let's keep an eye on it, make sure it's heading out that way. It might have actually grabbed some workers. We'll just look at this car. We'll see where it's going. We'll keep an eye on it. It's a really fast vehicle, so this one can get started right away. So it's heading over to the end, bus stop number 2 first. So we'll see how that works. We're going to slow down our track production, but I have a plan for that though. Don't worry, it'll speed up again afterwards. So this is our Houston must never change episode, but we can deliver more workers. Maybe I should build a house in Houston though. What if I built one house like we're doing in Dump City? We mustn't forget our Dump City project. Like one little house. For the Houston has no plans to change. Just because there was no plan to change. But if a house works in Dump City, you would think, oh my god, it was already built. Okay, that was no challenge at all. I know sometimes when I build these things, it's like, are we going to finish by the end of the show? It's a close one. But a little house, it's very, very easy for these guys to build. Again, you'll notice our construction workers are not doing much work. What does that mean when your construction workers don't work? The capitalists get their money. Look at this. Look how much we're already gaining in purchasing power by not providing housing for the people. This way we can pay our interest to the bankers instead so that they can travel more and have more conferences and run more reports and studies on how angry you are that you have no money. Oh, it looks like we got the reconstruction done though. But again, no work to do here. Let's see how this is keeping up. Yeah, we're selling like crazy. Selling like crazy. Oh, there's our bulk storage thing. Okay, let's do that. So we now have, we can load, ooh, yeah, we want to load cement. We added a new stop down here. Let's see how this works. I thought you couldn't do this, to be honest, but hold on. At 30% it loads. What's, okay, 70 tons of capacity, 30% would be 21 tons. Okay, as long as there's at least 30%, this could, yeah, let's give this a go. But let's sell this, actually no, let's sell it to Canada. Because I don't want to add another destination here. I know our customs house is a little busy here. That's not too busy. And we're going to eventually be able to get rid of all these garbage trucks hauling garbage into Dump City. Like there's like 15 of them on the line, so soon there'll be more space. It'll pick up cement. Oh, sorry, it will load cement at the San Diego cement plant. It's technically like this is Dump City. I guess we could say this is San Diego and this side of the tracks is Dump City. And we're going to sell the cement. Let's see how this works. This should be going pretty much nonstop. And that means I should be able to hire more cement workers. Does this make economic sense? I don't know. Probably not. Let's see what we can borrow now here. Okay. Yeah, we're gaining here. If I have a total US cash borrowing power plus amount in account of $1 million, I'm going to start building this mall over here. And we'll start developing this area here a little bit. We're going to give some more features to make these nicer, more productive houses. But I want to have at least $1 million in purchasing power, essentially, to do that. Okay, so we built our Dump City house right away. And I was actually supposed to promo that of what kind of house is it going to be. And make it a bit of a spoiler. But I think you already kind of knew it was going to be the dumpiest house there is. So no one lives here. And so experiment one is to see if anyone will move in here. So I don't think anyone will. There's no reason. They have no jobs. There's no services. I don't even know how they get here. We'll see. We'll see how that one works. Do they have electricity? I think they do have electricity, though. Okay, so it's not the worst house. Let's check things out over here. We were building a bus station here. I want to get this finished soon because we have a bus at the construction office I want to reallocate. Actually, let's have a look here at our route here. Let's see if it's doing anything. Is it bringing some extra workers in abandoned San Francisco? Oh, did it grab any workers? One worker. That's not bad. I don't know if it's worth the gas. Actually, let's make sure they only pick up workers. Just in case they pick up passengers or something, right? Oops, I screwed that up. I screwed that up. I want to do this in line view because I'm going to have multiple cars doing this, okay? Where's the car? We'll assign it to the car. Okay, good, good. And now in line view, we will say no students, no passengers, no tourists. We just want workers to go here to improve Houston's profitability. And there we go. So it just picks up workers. I'm actually wearing a kind of an old shirt here. I wore this in an earlier episode. This is one of my oldest shirts. It's for the theme of the episode. It's actually not even well taken care of. I was about to do laundry with it, and I said, you know what, I want to use it for the show just because it's a plain old shirt I've had for 20 to 30 years. And for the theme of the show, nothing changes, right? People do not like change. It's the default mode. I'm like that too. I'm not going to claim that I want to put solar panels on my house right away, although, you know, if it comes time to redo something, if I have to redo the roof, for example, I might put solar panels on. But people don't like change just for sake of change. You have the logical way to do change in society is to slowly do it. As things come up, as things have to be replaced, it's to not replace it with the same thing you had before. It's to replace it with something new, right? And it's just the natural human behavior to not want to change. I can complain about everyone else. Why aren't you changing? Why do you still do capitalism? It doesn't work. I could go on for hours just listing all the fundamental problems of it and how just rules, social rules makes more sense. There are many, many for-profit industries that should not exist. Healthcare for profit is an insanely bad idea. You know, military industrial complex. You got to do two parts to this. You got to create weapons, and then you've got to create propaganda and convince people to go to war. This is how the rich make money. And if you continue to endorse a system like this and you say it works, it's the best thing we have, well, it's only the best thing we have because the actual best things we have are not allowed to be chosen by the rich. Like they'll put it in the media, they'll teach you, they'll misinform you. It's almost all lies. More significantly, it's omissions of truth. If you've watched the series, you've probably learned quite a few things in reality that you're shocked of, that you're like, I can't believe rich people do this stuff. You know, even people, if you're in Europe listening to this and you understand the American system has, first off, they have billionaires that control the nominees in two political parties. They have for-profit healthcare system, and they have shareholders in companies that sell goods that make you very unhealthy. Okay? And people that also sell you these goods tend to also have shares and control of the media. So, of course, they're going to sell you the unhealthy things. So, a certain class of people will always make money, and there's a certain class of people who will remain ignorant, or they'll be in defiance of it. They'll deny the reality. Many people just deny what they see right in front of their eyes. The problem is someone else. They look at the symptoms, not the causes of the problem. And We have a system designed to keep certain people in power indefinitely and oppress all other people from ever getting any kind of power. Like, one of the biggest lies that Reagan told us about trickle down economics and tax cuts for the rich help the economy, which we've dispelled in previous episodes. But the biggest lie was that, like, the only reason you would ever give tax cuts to the rich is if they create deflation in the economy. Otherwise, why give money to someone? There's no logic to that. You have to get something in return, right? Do they cause deflation with their efficiency of manufacturing processes? Or do they keep the money to themselves as bonuses and then take those bonuses, invest in property to jack up prices, causing higher inflation that would otherwise be possible? So, yeah, the need for change is there, and it's best done slowly because you don't want to admit that change is needed. And as things come up, next time someone asks your opinion on capitalism, say it's coming to an end. That's a small change. Share the idea. How do they earn their money? What specifically are they doing? Some people have more money than they ought to have, and that's just the honest truth. And they might get angry about it, but I've probably contributed more in my lifetime and I've got nothing. So why would I give a crap? Giving money away to these people that squander it like this has to come to an end. That was a bit of an impromptu speech. Well, yeah, so I'm going to shut down the coal plant here. This is a long-term plan. This is another topic. Where's the coal plant? Here, the problem is the prime real estate's around here. And we cannot have people with a lot of pollution there. So maybe by the end of the series, I'm going to completely phase it out. And originally I was thinking of like setting up a coal setup over here to bring it from a longer distance. But if our dump city expands, I actually planned another heat incinerator here. So this is going to be the solution to it. And then potentially another heat incinerator around here too. I've actually got some underground lines sort of planned out here for where the other heat incinerator is going to be around here. Probably right there specifically. So this is our replacement for when we get rid of coal. We get rid of the old and bring in the new. I know garbage isn't real. Burning garbage doesn't exactly sound like a progressive, clean thing to do, but it's further away from the city and it will improve the productivity of everyone else from being healthier. This isn't for-profit health in the game, so it costs us doctors time in order to keep them healthy as they are because of the location of this coal plant. Big mistake. It was one of the first things I built and I didn't understand it early in the series. So if you jumped ahead, like if you watched episode 1 and then you jumped ahead to this episode, oopsies, I'm sorry. Don't build a coal plant this close. It should have been built like maybe around here. I could have even had set up a coal industry here, and it took a while before I discovered there was coal here. But definitely it should have been at least this far out. Would have been a little bit more sensible, but oh well, it was my second attempt at it. A third attempt I'd definitely be much better. These kindergartens keep filling up. We got to keep adding more and more staff for the kindergarten. How's this one here doing? Oh, this one, yeah, let's create a few more jobs. Let's go to 20. Let's go to 24. I want to be a little bit future-proof on this one because I still think there's people moving into these apartment blocks here. So we're going to get more and more kids going to this daycare. How are we doing for our research here? Oh, yes, we got whatever we were researching. I think I was researching wind turbines or something. I don't have the money to build them yet, but it's good to have the technology. But what I do want to get working on here is the advanced engineering, so we can start working on our cars. Maybe the final thing we do in the series is build a road vehicle production facility. So we still got to work towards that. So let's go to advanced engineering. I think that's a good choice of technologies. How are we doing for employment? Oh, you want more stuff to do? I'll give you more stuff to do. How fast can we research this? Well, let's not go that fast. Let's go with, like, this does cost us money if we have too many people doing research. How's that? Actually, let's go a little bit more. We have a lot of these to discover. And this will be our only technical research facility. So we'll go heavy into this one. And maybe we'll go a little bit more in terms of employees here too. Oops, ran out of money here. I'm standing way back here, way back, because I see the gain on my mic is way too high. But you know what? It looks okay-ish. We can thank random updates. We do have some low-cost things here, such as a surface water intake. And if you know what is in this lake, you know what kind of water quality will arrive in this house. This is a water substation. This isn't a sewage outlet. I know, see, this is a sewage outlet. This has several cubic meters of sewage coming out of our city zone. All these cities all come out here. And this will be our intake, our water intake. So we'll see. We're going to run some experiments. This component here is inspired by Let's Game It Out. Again, I haven't watched too many game streamers, but I have seen his show a couple of times. Maybe he'll watch this and say, come up with some ideas. So experiment 1 is, will people... Oh, someone did move in. They don't have a job. They're 6% happy. That's shocking. Okay, well, we're going to have to set up a bus stop. Hold on here. I'm surprised that... Okay, I don't think more than one person's going to live here. I don't know what kind of job we could give them, but let's give them a quick job. And let's see if we can give them... Let's give them a free bus stop here, and let's put it right up close to a temporary one here, right off the route here. I'm not even going to make it close to work. It's going to be hard to get to work even. Actually, let's go a little bit closer to this metro line here. We'll see if this works. Mud roads, of course. We'll do a road here. We'll do a road here. Can they get to work here? Oh, yes, they can. We got a bus stop. Okay, one person's there. That's all I need to know that someone can work here. So let's make a new route here. And we'll pick them up for any reason they want. If they want services, let's just drive them into the city. I'm surprised experiment 1 has 1 worker. I am actually quite shocked at that, to be honest, because I thought we'd have to give them like a bar or something, that's gonna be experiment 2. It's like they're 6% happy. They're not really like looking like they're terribly enthused about their job, but let's give them a bus route, and we'll see how this works out. We'll hit play on that, and yeah, let's watch this vehicle. This is Brento's car. We're acting as a shuttle to see if people in Dump City will go to work. I am shocked that 1 person moved in here. Well, they're 2% happy. They might die. They'll probably die by, I figure they'll die by winter. That's just 1 car acting as a shuttle. Let's see how that works out. Very low cost house. All they got's electricity there. So we'll see how that works. Oh, that's quite shocking. Let's do a quick check here on our San Francisco. Oh, we do have our 3rd a coffee machine in the background. You can probably hear that. Beeps. Oh, I'm so incompetent. It's been 12 days since I've done an episode. Just seems like a rough start. I'm sitting so much further away from the screen just because I'm concerned. I've actually moved the mic back a bit just because I'm concerned the gain is out of control. Let's give this route a name though here. We'll call this Dump City Shuttle. Dump City Shuttle. There we go. Keep an eye on Houston here too. Okay, so we have a new bus stop, and I think all the roads are done here. So let's also fix that route here. We'll change our San Fran workers. And we'll add one more stop. So they'll go 1, 2. After there, we'll insert it on the way back. You don't want to grab workers, go the wrong way. Like that. Oh, and we'll say only workers, no tourists, nothing else. See how that works. All right. Let's just have a check here at the bus station. See if we got... Oops. Oh, yes. Dump City Shuttle. I didn't save that one. Okay, we got no one waiting for work. Oh, we got 4 workers there, though. 5 workers there. Okay, that means we could send 2 cars. 2 cars to do this. These cars, honestly, should be scrapped because they're getting pretty old. I probably should have did this a lot sooner. So there's 4 workers here. Yeah. And they're not going to find work in San Francisco, that's for sure. Okay, well, let's see what we got here. We got this San Francisco worker route. Hold on, let's quickly pause while this car is right in front of us. It's very unnerving that something like a microphone can ruin an episode. I actually recorded one episode earlier where I had no audio whatsoever. It was just me talking, and I talked for 2 hours, a show like this. I was completely lost. And I was actually doing a different kind of a challenge. I didn't feel like it was a good, like it really did feel like a bad episode. So I was like, thank God the audio was bad. So if this ends up being a crappy episode, I'll be like, okay, good thing the audio is bad. Then I'll just, redo something. Although moving too far into the future kind of screws things up. But let's set this guy here to San Fran worker, like that. Now we got 2 of them. Now how many do we have working for Maglev? We have none. We have none on the Maglev line because we sent them all to make more money instead. But we have a bus here that we're going to park here, or right here. And then we're going to grab that bus before it gets there, and we're going to assign it the Maglev route. And it's not going to go there. So now we're going to deliver with our crappy slow bus that only has to do this little bit anyways. It's going to take big swaths of workers, and we're going to hopefully really... we're out of gravel too. It's actually probably good we switched work there. We ran out of gravel in the rail construction. I don't think we have any more construction projects now here too, so we'll just move these trucks around. Very tight on trucks here. We don't want to be wasting resources on things we don't need. Oops. Oh no, we don't want to put 2. How are you for steel? We got a bit of steel. Wouldn't worry too much about it. I'll load up on gravel and I'll switch that up later. I am surprised that this had someone moved in. But now they can get a job. They're going to have a shuttle. Let's find that Dump City shuttle. Where did it go? Brento's car. Okay. They're not going to work though. They're going for entertainment on this one. It's because they're a passenger, right? Passengers don't work. They just entertain themselves. Much like the rich. Oh my. That was a nasty job. I wish I didn't have this microphone issue because then I could make full volume. Chicken noises, but they'd come up too loud. It would just blur out completely, I bet. We'll see. Maybe I'll do the chicken taunting and intro for a show or something. Let's check out our Cement R Us. How is this doing? Do we have too much cement? Okay, we could have more cement workers now. How are we doing for gravel? Plenty of gravel. Lots of gravel. Well, let's add some more aggregate workers. Create more jobs here. I think our population's growing. Are they happy? Let's see how they are. Let's check the happiness around a building. Ooh, that's not too good. Not too good. I think our heating, we might have had some heating issues. They might have... Again, how come there's... Wait a second. Are all our ash plants full? I think they are. Wow. We need that much ash. I was trying to empty out some of these here because it looks like there's some biological waste in them, but we're going to have to add them back. It's probably just a small component, but we're going to have to add Ash 1 and 4 have to be unload. Oh my god. Yeah, so we completely capped out on ash storage space. I think we're gonna have to build another ash storage space then too. Actually, let's not ruin both of these. Let's ruin, this one's more close to empty. Let's just ruin ash 4. Let's take ash 1 out as my mouse saturates the mic completely. So we'll do that. We're gonna start building this here. We will make this a project worth building. We'll build a new ash plant here. And ash 7 will get built at some point. So let's do that. Oh my god, so they lost heat because I thought we had enough ash plants, but 2 of them are kind of not being used. Man, what a waste. Waste of resources. That probably hurt our economy. What's our borrowing power here? We're still going up. I think it's offset by the profitability of this zone here. I don't want to ever see this cement truck park though. How are we doing for coal supply? Ooh, we're running low on coal. Should probably grab some coal here. I'm going to do a quick edit to our line here. Our mix supplies line. Let's just grab some coal for a little bit. I like to change it up. Sometimes it's picking up aggregate or construction waste. Sometimes it's picking up coal based on demands. Again, once we have our connection to China and we can get some of the good rail systems and build a rail distribution office, this game will be much easier. Much, much easier. Again, we weren't born rich in this world. This is simulating what it's like to not be born rich. If you're a rich guy and you want to play this on realistic mode and see how good you really are with managing your money, good luck. You could try it right off the bat. I'd suggest working your way up to the higher difficulties. But it is possible that you just might not be able to figure it out because, again, rich people are not rich because, and I'm sorry, I don't mean to be an asshole about this. It's just statistically speaking, people with more money are a very specialized knowledge, and broad knowledge, like figuring out how to manage an economy, might be beyond your ability. And it then begs the question why you're paid so much in the first place. And that really is a problem. This show is here to soften the blow for you when taxes increase because you are a little bit more expensive than you realize. You take, like, again, but if you can go in here, if you can say, I went into realistic mode, played it right away. I don't get why you think it's so hard to make money in life. But if you do try and you fail, please share your experience why you failed too. We'll see how this microphone works. It's acting crazy like. Okay, so we're getting some San Francisco workers. Is there any other waiting at a bus stop here? Oh, there's a few more. Well, not too many. It's a few extra workers, right? Few extra workers, few extra dollars being made, and that's a good thing. Let's watch them get off. 4 workers in the car. Are they gonna go? Oh, we actually could build a bit of concrete right here too. That'd be nice. Yeah, and they all found work. They found something to do. All right. Yeah, let's actually do that. Let's put a little bit of gravel there. You might, it doesn't obstruct anything. We got some dumpers doing nothing right now. Yeah, let's do that. Little construction project for China. We'll add an office to it. I don't know if we can find that project on its own, but we did have a spare dumper. Now, once we see the dumpers parked here, we'll put the open haul there to bring some extra steel in. I'd be curious to see, ooh, look at that, 37 people. Like, this is a lot of workers, this bus. It is going to actually, see what it's doing? It's completely depleting our workers that were helping Houston out. So we're slowly giving them a few workers from San Francisco, but we're taking them from China because we have other agendas in the economy. But once we get connected to Dump City, like, this will save us from failure at the game. Our borrowing power in rubles closing in on 8 million now. That's because of Houston. Houston makes rubles, right? You know, maybe one day Texas will join BRICS, right? Reasonable expectation. I'm sure there's a lot of diehard Americans in Texas listening to this going, that makes sense. Let's join BRICS. If the rest of the country just takes the money and does paperwork for you and doesn't actually provide things people need to live, that would be an argument to join BRICS. Texas could outlast America. This microphone, I'm gonna go further and further back just to ensure the microphone, like it looks like it's plenty loud at this distance. Several feet back from my monitor. I've got my arms out like this. See, look, this is the perspective of me. I got a pen in my hand. I write notes. When I cover a topic, I gotta cross them off because I miss them sometimes. I wouldn't even remember to talk about my idea for a horror movie. See if any writers out there want looking for creative ideas. I've given creative ideas for different genres. Maybe I should have done this in a future episode, but I'm actually, just a spoiler, I'm going to do an episode on the television station, and there's a lot of movie and TV ideas in it. So this idea I have here could go there, but the episode's almost already written. There's so much content for it. And I thought they were a little bit more Hollywoodish. This is a little bit more sci-fi and a little bit just plain weird. Because are you watching this show to watch normal presentation of the news? I try to make this look like a professional show because it is a professional show done in Hollywood with a large expensive crew that helps out. After I finish doing this series, I'd like to dabble into the horror movie genre. And here's an idea. I need a writer to help me out, though, to help me actually pen this. And this is an idea for a horror movie. And it's called, Do You Remember the Nightmares? What happens is, it's kind of a realistic, it's based on reality where we're searching in space and we find Planet X. We really do. We have all the information out there that suggests, Planet X is real. We're spending, tens of millions of dollars scanning for it right now. And all the mathematical evidence says it's out there. Scientists generally concur that this is a real thing, but they haven't spotted it yet. But the story is based on the moment we spot it, and then what happens is people start having nightmares of alien invasions, and they imagine aliens standing around watching them, surveying them, just like they used to thousands of years ago. And it brings up this ancient fear we have. Like, I actually have had nightmares of aliens. Like, I've dreamt, like a dream where like there's an alien walking into my room. But it was actually just a dream, right? And I think this could make a really terrifying movie premise. So if one of my Hollywood connections wants to make this, we call it, Do You Remember the Nightmares? Will they return if we find Nibiru? Like, will their nightmares return when we spot Nibiru again? The ancient tale is that we are their genetic experiments. We're just a bunch of apes. And, controlled by capitalists nowadays who seem, there are some capitalists who believe in this big time. And those are the ones who are going to be part of the revolution, I think. The ones that are going to be on the right side of history. Not all capitalists are evil, just so we're clear. It's the ones that have bad ideas that I'm a little against. But yeah, do you remember the nightmares? Okay, that's my idea for a horror movie. We'll do the parking index stuff soon. Oh yeah, one other thing too. I'm going to cross this off right now. I should have did this earlier in the show. Why not? Like, look, this is how I scribble my notes. They're like, I don't want to show you everything I'm going to say here, but I got to get better handwriting. I got to print these or something. I try to color code them with different inks and stuff. I need to emphasize a flow to these. And one thing I want to remind everyone is when you watch the show, I've been doing some editing, use chapter view, okay? This show is probably hard to watch if you're just listening to it without the way you do that is go into the description, click more, okay, and then scroll down to the chapters and then view all, and then it will show you the next topics in the top right on your browser. You might be able to do that on your phone too, I'm not sure, but if you want to watch this show the way it was intended to be watched, that would be what I would suggest, is to view it in chapter view. I like to break it into chapters. It's because it's ridiculously long. And if you want a specific topic you're looking for, you can view them in the description too if you want to go way ahead. But just jump ahead to some topic. If you don't want to hear the movie idea, skip ahead. Go to the chapter description chapter, right? That's what you can do, right? And every episode's like that, where you shouldn't be watching this show in any other way other than chapter view. I'll remind people of that every now and then, every half dozen episodes or so, because I can see this being hard to tolerate for an hour and a half show or whatever edited length it can be. Some of them aren't going to be over an hour and a half long. They're pretty long. Okay, how are we doing here? Let's check out our cars here. They still full? Yes, 4 workers. Are more people showing up at the bus stops? When people get jobs, does it inspire other people to get jobs? Not really. Doesn't look like it. Looks like there's only a few people. That's strange. They got absolutely no services. They're probably not very productive workers, to be honest. I should probably look at the average productivity of these workers. Let's just have a peek. What kind of a person is looking for a job at a random bus station in a city that has no services? Let's see what we got here. 30%. Is that the minimum productivity? 30%? Are they all 30%? Hey, 30% is better than nothing. I'll take that. They make us some money. I'll take that. Be nice to not have any more ruble debt. Let's see if we can do that once. Like I tell you, once our rail network's connected, so many more possibilities. So many. It affects so many things, it's ridiculous. Like, I don't even know if we're getting any buses here. The workers that normally go to the cattle yards here, there's very few right now. We're dropping a lot off in our maglev facility here. Okay, we need to switch one of these. Do we have 2 of these? Yeah, we don't need 2. We're still doing our little competition for dumper trucks. Who's going to survive? I think most of them are still alive, but some are going to go soon, including my voice because I haven't sipped coffee. I had to make a choice between grabbing the cup or assigning the truck. It's like, what do I do? Do I disrupt the presentation of the show? Or do I have a sip of coffee so that I can continue long-term presentation? Okay, one of our open haul trucks is busy. It's found some work. Actually, I'm a little curious to what it's doing. Where is it going? What kind of work? That needs steel? It's not steel. Why is it going there? Maybe it used up the steel? I didn't know it took steel to do that. That's kind of weird. Well, I'm sure it'll park soon. Maybe it needed a little bit of steel for something. I think it's got everything oh, it was delivering. That's what it was doing. It's delivering a bulldozer. Okay. You know, we could put this back here into here. Oh, shoot. No, not yet. We got to move this dumper here. Then we can move it. There we go, like that. Then we'll grab some US dollars while we can still do it. Oh, look at that. Is that 800,000? Is that all we had to do? Is just put some workers in the construction industry here? Was that it? Not overdo it? Let's see if our cement truck is making some money. Well, it's busy. Like these dumpers, okay, don't build anything new. Actually, you know what? We got enough money. There is something else I want to build new here. I'm going to do it right now. This is a late start, but maybe we can get it built in this episode because I think, look at this, we have 250,000 in the bank and we can borrow 600. That went up quite a bit in this episode. And the only real change was this, wow, Coal Express. Even though it's not really, it's not the dumpers making us the money, it's the open haul trucks making us the money. But I want to build this here and I want to make this a high priority project because this claw facility, see what happens is when we process garbage, okay, we got too many people processing waste here. We actually fill up our dump here for heat before winter starts, and we actually have nowhere to store it, and then we run out of it before winter ends. So this will give us like a buffer zone over here because it's a claw facility, so we can unload from it as an emergency source of heating power. It's not ash that will go in this one here. This will be a good quality dump. And later it will get burnt directly by this heat incinerator. So I kind of want to do that right now. Until then, let's send all the vehicles that are here over here. And let's also assign them, because we don't have enough garbage getting delivered. Canadian garbage supply only has 12 trucks on it right now. So we're going to add 1, 2 more. Because we're running out of the ability to produce garbage. This here is empty. Previous episodes, this was getting full, right? And it was and that's a problem too, but we have a shortage of garbage right now. And we got all these workers here processing it, but we're going to have to do some job cuts for now while this gets caught up a little bit. Obviously, once the rail line's built, see, and again, that's another big weirdness to this game. There is no, if you go to the customs house in this game, if we wanted to purchase garbage and deliver it by train, let's see where we have our cargo wagons by total capacity here. Let's see if we can find our trash one, right? Let's look for a garbage hopper. We can get at the Canadian border here to buy garbage from. Oh, not an earthquake. Come on. Let's see here. Where's our garbage? See, look at that. You can't buy any garbage hoppers. They do not exist from the Western nations. So that is why I'm obligated to connect to China in order to buy them, which is so ridiculous. Like, again, these are little things I didn't know in the game, but this is one of them here. And I think this is a bigger one here. 37 tons. And that's why this has been so important. That's why I moved this bus over to start supplying workers this way, because we don't have the rail line built. And this is such a high priority to get this connected. You know the standard drill. Everyone goes to work in the fire station. Actually, not too many in these ones. I'm going to just put a few there. But this one has the bulk of the fire trucks, so they all work here. They all get to work here because this guy will catch the most fires. Yeah, we'll go high there. I think we can get quite a few workers in this one here too. So let's see how our earthquake does this time. We're getting quite a few earthquakes lately. I don't know. Capitalists are getting mad. Let's see where we're getting fires. That's not a big deal, that one. A little bit exciting. Now I don't want to have audio issues. I want to keep this episode because earthquakes are fun. Look for smoke, look for smoke. Maybe that was a small earthquake. What the? Oh no, maybe not. Maybe not. It takes a while for the smoke to plume, I guess. Oh, there we go. There's one. Okay, this heat exchanger. That one's a bad one. Ooh, that's a bad one. Let's see what we got here. Ooh, that's not a terribly bad one. I wouldn't worry about that one. I know enough here to start assigning a couple. This one here, oh, sorry. This actual fire station here. It will deal with this here. And I think we want to assign, of the fires I saw, this one here, oops. The saves take a few extra seconds. Now the file's getting just a little bit bigger. So this is kind of an important one. We'll send them there. And let's see how this plays out. See if there's any other ones as we go. We got electricity problem, yeah. Houses on fire are not a very high priority. I'm generally going to ignore them. Let's see. Maybe there weren't too many fires. Oh my god. Come on, stop. Where do we got here? Ooh, that's a bad one. The orphanage. Yeah, let's send this to the orphanage. And this fire truck here. We do have a fire helicopter now. We should actually check it out. I should have announced that at one point. Let's check it out. Ooh, where is it? Let's watch the fire helicopter. Where is it? Up in the air here? Let's watch the fire helicopter. Firecopter! Fire helicopter in action. First time ever in Dump City. Puts out a fire in a house where I didn't give a crap about. Way to go. Way to target the wrong thing. Okay, let's pick better destinations for our fire helicopter. How about here and here? Let's see what we got here. We got, I don't want this apartment to burn down. No trucks coming to that one. But we got lots of firefighters now. Let's put a, I'm gonna have a lot at each of them. Let's put a few more here. And we'll put a few more. I think we got a lot of fire trucks here. Oh yeah, they can't get enough in here. We'll lower that one. They're just not making it to this fire station. This one, let's keep them fully. Let's go all the way max. The fire helicopter. Let's see if we'll. Oh, that one's gonna go out. That's only. Who cares? Let's just hold on. Let's assign FEMA right away. Right away. Let's deal with that one. Yoink. And you know what we're gonna do? We're also going to. It's not even done processing. We got a bus. We got a new bus here. This will send workers to deal with that. FEMA's in action. This is almost an action-packed episode. Let's see what we got for our fire. Is it doing something else? Oh, look at that. Look at the fire helicopter saving the orphans. Look at that. Look at the fire helicopter. It doesn't even show as being there. Wow. Fire helicopter in action. I have to make a tutorial on that one. By the way, again, if you're... This is something I wish someone would have told me. And I've also repeat this. You cannot attach a heliport and put a fire helicopter to a fire station until you have a technology to do so. And you need to research this here. I'm not just going to tell you you need to do it. I'm going to show you exactly which ones. Air traffic study and firefighting helicopters. That's how it works. Any other fires going on here? Yeah, losing electricity kind of sucked right there, but not a big deal. I think our fires might be out. Let's have a look at our fire trucks. Are they back in the station yet? Where's this truck? Looks like it parked back in here. Yeah, it looks like they're back in here. I think we can safely say all these fires are out. Let's have a quick scan. If you don't see a fire, there's not a fire. That's just how it works. And I think that's that. So there's some firefighting helicopter action. That was kind of cool, but let's go back. This will kill your economy too if you don't do this. You'll go over the fiscal cliff because they just don't know to go back to work. They just don't know. That's how it works. And we'll go back to 4 here. I'm a little disappointed that this fire station here, actually this fire still is active. So but I think our fire trucks, if we send them all to it, they'll be okay. But this one's not getting enough workers in it. It's a little concerning. It's not like the other ones where there's enough people nearby. So then we'll also send this there. We'll send, this should be already working on there. And we'll also send any spare trucks over there at 2 times. I'll click it once and then I'll click it twice. So there we go. Hopefully that will get rid of that fire. Oh, there's a lot of fire trucks here, but it's still burning. Why is it burning? Wait a second. I'm surprised that's still burning. What if we put more? Everyone here. Everyone here. There's something wrong there. That should... How can that fire still be out of control? Oh my god. Let's have a sip of coffee here while we watch the excitement. Oh, we just got it. Just in the nick of time. What's going back on fire again? How come they can't put it out? Do we need more firefighters? Where are the other firefighters? Let's put these guys all to work again too. Gonna save the orphanage? Oh, maybe that does do it. Maybe a few more here. Let's just put everyone to work. Why, like that? This is the craziest fire I've ever seen. 6 trucks can't seem to deal with this. I mean, there is something unusual about this fire. It's quite strange. Have you ever seen this? Have you ever seen a fire like this? Where you have 78 firefighters and 6 fire trucks unable to contain something? That's quite bizarre. I'll just be the backdrop while I talk about the next topic here, which is we're getting up there in the episode. We got to cover our topics. Okay, it's going out. So I did some research between episodes of the most expensive rip-off parking places in the world. And as you know, parking, much like many other industries, is a fake job. Historically speaking, the idea of parking meters didn't really exist. It's a consumer targeting thing, right? And I've gone over this before. We could use GPS to automatically bill people, but it's going to be a bit of time before we do that. So in the meantime, there's a lot of privately owned businesses that extract wealth from the system for, the personal use of the rich, of course. Excuse me. And what they do is, Chicago's notorious for this. Like, there's private companies. You think the parking fees collected by city property go to the city? No, they go to a tax shelter in Abu Dhabi, which is basically, the mafia. Like, and don't get me wrong here, all businesses are the mafia right now. And they just take the money out. They consider this a clean business, but this is a rigged business. Okay? The mafia can invest in better things than this. There's other ways to make money, but they're not the worst. Chicago is not that bad compared to other places in the world. This racket of parking fees. I found this PDF on the internet that ranks parking costs in all the major cities. And I'll tell you the top 5 in the world right now, the biggest ripoffs, by purchasing power parity, meaning that if you lived in like China or something with like very low cost of living, as you know, China is significantly cheaper to live in than the US. So that's why the Chinese people are richer, because their money buys them far more. If you were to have to pay $5 for parking in China, that would be unacceptable. In the US, scamming the locals is common. So I believe New York City actually has the highest parking, 2-hour street parking in the world. But adjusted for inflation, it's not number 1. You know what number 1 is? Actually, let's do this in reverse order. Number 5, Seoul, South Korea, $11. And that would be like China type money. These are poorer people on average than, I guess, New York City. So it's the 5th most expensive. Number 4, London, England. Number 3, Paris. That's a bit of a surprise. Number 2, Amsterdam. And just so you know, these bottom 4, they're all between $11 and $13 adjusted for 2-hour parking. But the most expensive in the world, believe it or not, is Moscow, Russia, at $28.50. Straight up Russian mafia. Unbelievable. These are poor people paying $28.50 to park for 2 hours on the street. I think it's 2 hours on the street. Yeah, 2-hour on-street parking. New York was number 6, surprisingly, and Chicago was number 9 on this list. So no Saints, and I think they are in absolute amounts the most expensive places. But in terms of, and that's the way you should always look at economic cost, is the purchasing power that gives you the relative value of things, right? Moscow, the worst place in the world to park in the street. I don't know what's going on there. Maybe they're trying to get rid of cars in downtown Moscow. That's just absolutely ridiculous. I would definitely not drive to downtown Moscow with prices like that. That's insane. Okay, we're getting up there in the episode here. We're gonna check out on a few things. Let's see how our little dump city experiment's going here. Is there 2 people in the house? There is. Oh my god! Are any of them working? I wonder if 29% happy. There is a shuttle that takes them into the city. So I guess, that's something. That's something. How about this here? How are our bus stops in San Francisco? Oh, passengers. We got nothing for passengers. If you want to go to a mall or something, you can only go to work in San Francisco right now. Had a little bit of an earthquake. I'm really concerned with the audio. Again, I did an audio check. It seemed a little loud, but I thought it was reasonable. And you're probably listening to this thing, quit complaining about how loud it is. How many times can you talk about the same thing over and over? Yeah, the orphanage really got hit hard there with that fire. I think it's gonna it could collapse. So we set a high priority. Okay, so they're delivering goods fast here. One other thing I want to check here is, are we gonna have a shortage of steel? How are we doing for steel? No, we've got plenty of steel. I was contemplating, to really make sure we don't spend too much money, stop buying Canadian steel. Unless we already have. Actually, we already have, so we must be making our own steel. That's really good. How are we doing for steel scrap here? Lots of aluminum scrap, lots of steel scrap. Yeah, we're making our own steel by recycling all this garbage, so we don't have to buy steel. So that's a nice positive thing. But yeah, I'm a little concerned this orphanage. Wow, what a fire. I've never seen a fire like that. This is my second realistic mode. I've played the 2 campaign worlds, played through the tutorials. I've never seen a fire like that. I put everything at it to stop that. The wear and tear of the building is pretty bad. The food and the clothing are still in it, I guess. We need to get some workers here. Let's also make sure we have enough workers to get to that project. Do we have buses here? Yeah, it looks like we do. Where do we get our workers from? Mexico. Do we have Mexican workers? Yeah, we don't have any doing nothing. Ooh, we got, you know what? Let's grab some from Canada right now. They're a little bit lazy in Canada. A little bit lazy. They don't want anything changed. Let's do a progress update in Houston. Let's see what's changed here. Nothing's changed, right? We got to make sure nothing changes. Nothing's changing. This dumper's doing, or this garbage truck's doing nothing. There we go. Oh shoot. I built this road. I screwed up the challenge. Oh my god, I didn't even think about it. I was just doing it to help the bus stop. Maybe someone realized I was screwing up and wanted to say something, but that was against the rules of the challenge. The idea was to not change something in Houston. How hard of a challenge is it to do nothing? I built more roads. I added extra lanes to the Katy freeway. I thought we agreed that wasn't a good idea to have that many lanes on a freeway. Oh well. So we screwed up our challenge. Houston has no plans to change. Well, one of the things I want to talk about was how to detect fake police cars in a city. Yeah, so if you're the police and you're worried about rich people, or high-paid individuals, some of these super dangerous people have a bit of money. So here's a system you need, police. It's how many police are on the road and identifying police that should not be there. So what it has to do is you got to put like a camera on your car that can visually identify police cars, okay, or any kind of unusual vehicle. And it cross-references the known location of authorized police cars. This way you know someone's a pretend police car. And I bet you, this is a little bit more common than you realize. And these people are very, very dangerous people. These are worse. These are the worst of the worst because, smart enough to think that they're normal people, but demented enough to be hurting other people, right? A fragmented mind. And that exists, and you got to acknowledge it exists. So you have to be checking out for fake police out there, and then alert the public right away, right? A way to let them know. So yeah, have authorized lists and check now and then. Of all the things you got to do, it's just one little thing you got to do now and then. Like if you hear of, a shooting somewhere, you might want to definitely, if you don't know who did it and you can't track them down, that should be part of the procedure. Is there a fake police car doing that? So that's the thing to watch out for. All right, we're gonna have to wind down this episode here. I'm really curious to see how terrible the microphone is. We'll see how it does. I can always, filter it down a bit. It's probably not a big deal. It feels like a bit of a Led Zeppelin this episode. It's not exactly going over smoothly. I screwed up. I really wasn't trying to screw this up. I wasn't trying to make Houston change, but this little bit of road was kind of needed. This is going to become asphalt. Like this will become an asphalt road here, I think. Maybe we'll do like a bit of a bypass here. Something here. Maybe we'll do something in the future, but not yet. We're all hands on deck to build this rail line. Let's just grab a new technology here. And we'll make sure not too many people are researching it because we just had a fire and that cost us some money. And we don't want to have too much wasted money. Maybe have a little bit less workers here. We want to max. Oh, what is this? What is this? That's ridiculous. Look at that. I signed up for repair. Oh my God. I guess we'll have to clean that up between episodes. I'm just going to hit pause here and sign out. Oh my God. What a waste. It just collapsed on its own. Oh well. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed the episode. Don't be afraid to change, right? That's kind of the lesson of things. Don't have to throw out new stuff, but don't repeat what you've done. If you bought a gas-powered car, buy an electric car next time. If you're eating unhealthy, buy some healthy food next, right? I don't know, just be willing to change in life. If you're doing a job you don't like, get a job you do like. That might be the best advice I can give you. Don't take crap from these people in charge that they're panicking because you're not loyal to them anymore. It's their own fault because that's how society works. So don't be afraid to change. So I hope you enjoyed the episode, and I'll see you next week.